Okay, my name is Hector Malaver. I'm gonna talk about the Lygus bug. The hosts. Lygus bug feed on many plants, crops, weeds, and wildflowers. Some of the crops include alfalfa seed, canola, sunflowers, beans, buckhead, and strawberries. And they also feed on flax, on wheat, and they are also a concern in quinoa, and they eat in different wheats. The species of Lygus, there are 14 species in Manitoba, but only 3 of them are the most common. There are like the Pelican bug, the tarnished plant bug, and the western tarnished plant bug that I will show you a photo later. And all of them are native from North America. The life cycle. Eggs are creamy white and about 1 millimeter long. They are flax shaped with a wider end having a flat cap. And the young nymphs are pale green and look like aphids, except that they are more active, unlike cornicles that is small tubes at the back of the abdomen in aphids. They develop it through 5 stars before they become adults. As we can see in the photo, here are the eggs and the 5 instar nymphs before becoming an adult. The mature nymphs have similar coloration to adults, but with 5 black dots on thorax and abdomen. This is an important key that we can see here, the 4 dots on the thorax and 1 on the abdomen. Also, wing buds are noticeable. The identification for adults is that they are 6 millimeter long, depending on the type of bug, could be pale green to reddish brown to black. Here are the 3 principal types of Lygus, more important. And one of the important thing is and key is the triangular or V shape that we can see here in all of them. The life cycle. They overwinter as adults under plant debris adjacent to fields. Adults migrate in crops in spring and summer to lay eggs on stems and petioles on the hosts, and they prefer in plants which are about to flower. Adults are strong flyers, that means that they can fly out long distances. As I put here, there's a reference that you can see about like the month that what they do. And in May they are like finishing overwintering, and in June, July, and August they do almost the same. And on September, the adults begin to overwinter again. The life cycle. Here you can see another reference, and there are 2 generations per year in the southern prairies. That means that if it's more in the south, it's hotter, then you can see 2 generations, but by canola council, it's possible that you can see 3 generations in southern Manitoba, but only 1 in the northern areas because it's colder. Defining damage. Okay, the most important is that they use a piercing stocking mode part called a proboscis to feed on reproductive structures. All of them feed preferentially on buds, flowers, or developing seeds. The flowers fall without forming pods, or pods drop without maturing. Feeding punctures on the outside of pods and stems may ooze drops of sap, causing an infested crop to become noticeable sticking, as we can see here in the photo. These drops promote the entry of pathogens. Lygus feeding creates small, dark circular patches on the pod surface. The monitoring scouting. We use a standard sweep net to sample crops to determine if they need like the control actions. In the canola and seed alfalfa is almost the same. By doing a sample with the net with 180-degree sweeps in different sites, and is as we saw in the video, is like super fast and is like shoulder to shoulder. The economic threshold, as we saw too in the class, It depends on how many Lygus bug per 20 sweeps we can see, and also we can see that there is a big difference at the end of the flowering and the pod ripening, having like less here and more here, but also having like the same price. Here there is another table that I put, and this is for canola, and this is when flowering is complete, and this one is when the pod ripening, also in canola, that you can check later. Okay, there are many management options. The first one is biological. Um, the nymphs of Lygus bugs may be killed by parasitic wasps, with parasitiums being common in weedy alfalfa stands or uncultivated weedy sites, but very low in canola. Damsel bugs, assassin bugs, lacewing larvae, that is here in the photo, big-eyed bugs, and crab spiders can prey on Lygus bug. Protecting all these natural enemies is important to avoid unnecessary insecticide applications. On the cultural side, none have been found to be effective. However, our research in southern Alberta is that there are like generally below economically damaged levels in canola fields that were cited in April. About the weather, a study in alfalfa found heavy rainfall reduced first generations of those by 50%. In the chemical side, one insecticide application at the end of the flowering or at the early bud stage should prevent significant yield losses. Consider delaying application if nearby alfalfa crops are being cut, which may force Lygus bugs to seek other host crops. Insecticides applied against Lygus bugs should also control any alfalfa plant bug present. And there is my resources. Thank you. See you.